Top story of the day is not coming from the world of politics. In all the noise over the Popular Front of India being banned and kaun banega Congress president, a more simple question. What happened to sabse bada rupaya? That's right, the rupee is falling, is depreciating consistently vis-a-vis the dollar. It's fallen to an all-time low today, went below 82 rupees for the first time and then eventually ended up at 81.90 to the dollar. How worried should we be? Well, the government's economic managers are saying, don't worry, don't be too happy, but don't worry. Unless you're sending your son, of course, abroad for an education, when the rising value of the dollar should affect you. Their claim is the rupee relatively has depreciated less compared to other currencies. Just take a look at some of the other currencies that have fallen. The Chinese currency, the Australian dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, and more specifically, the British pound, which has lost more than 13% in recent weeks to the dollar. So you could argue, as the government's managers are, as the former chief economic advisor, Dr. K. Subramaniam, has suggested, that the rupee relatively is better off because of macroeconomic stability in the Indian economy. And if at all the fall in the rupee has to be seen, it has to be seen in the context of what's happening in the United States. But the question is, should we be in a mood of don't worry, be happy? Now remember, India's forex reserves are at a 2-year low. They've dropped by almost US $80 billion since the escalation of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. But at the same time, it's because the RBI has constantly intervened in the forex market to cushion the fall in the rupee. But we are relatively better off, you would argue, in terms of our forex reserves at the moment. So maybe we have enough for the next few quarters to feel relatively sanguine. The question arises that at some stage, the push for higher interest rates in major economies globally is going to put pressure now on the RBI, whose Monetary Policy Committee is meeting as we speak, to raise interest rates further. This will at some level affect growth rates. Inflation may be slightly cooling off in recent weeks, but again remains a concern. And therefore, the truth is, at least in the near term, what policymakers are suggesting is that we are not entirely out of the woods. And it is unfortunate that perhaps we don't have enough of a debate on these real economic issues as we do on the political conflicts around us. Remember, when the UPA was in power and the rupee was falling 2012-13, the opposition gunned for Manmohan Singh's government and said the rupee is going to soon approach the age of Dr. Singh. Now, the rupee at 81 has become an octogenarian. The same voices that were criticizing Dr. Singh are mute at the moment, suggesting global conditions. They are perhaps right, as I said at the outset, but I still maintain in politics, where you stand depends on where you sit. And as a result, the rupee is a wake-up call for whoever is in power. India is no longer insulated from the global economy.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.